The 7 demons that originated from the Great Spirit of Darkness are the original demons. In the manga version, it is revealed that demons embody desire and are related to the strength of the soul in the world of Tensura. As monsters evolve, their self-awareness becomes clearer, and some lower beings may struggle to speak properly. Although not explicitly mentioned, it is likely that demons, like monsters, have their own unique characteristics. This video summarizes the characteristics of some of Rimuru long-standing subordinates and introduces their relationship with the primordial demons. About demons. Demons are long-lived species that live in the spiritual world. Although they can manifest in the central world through summoning techniques, they value contracts with summoners and are serious beings who want to be recognized mainly for their strength. Although there are absolute beings that cannot be negotiated with, it is said that summoning green or blue demons is a safe bet, and the demons that respond to summoning tend to work quite seriously. Monsters in the world of Tensura appear to have no relationship with the demon tribe at first glance. However, the higher their rank, the more distinctive their personalities become, and some of them have mysterious desires. Rimuru's subordinates, in particular, are characterized by their love of festivals, combativeness, and elegance, and each of them has their own unique traits. For instance, Beretta, who is in the same category as Diablo, a rare black demon, is seen to act according to her own interests, without worrying about her surroundings. In this diagram, the soul is described as having a foundation, a source of power, and an intention. If having a strong will is related to both the evolution of monsters and having a strong soul, it is not surprising that the primordial demons, who embody desire, also have these characteristics. Considering that demons were born as a reaction to the emergence of selfless beings like angels, they are believed to possess an extremely strong sense of self. It is not surprising that Rimuru, who has enormous desire, is worshipped by his subordinates who share similar traits. In this video, I will examine in detail the relationships between the members of Rimuru's subordinates, who are from the Ogre village, and Geld, Gopta, and the primordial demons. Guy and Benimaru. If we talk about demons, then the red lineage is ruled by Demon Lord Guy. Benimaru is not a demon, so there is no absolute hierarchy between him and Guy. However, as evident from his name in Japanese, attributes, and appearance, he shares many characteristics with Guy. First of all, they are both aggressive and self-confident. Benimaru has a habit of picking fights even with opponents he considers stronger than himself. When he was sent to the Beast Kingdom as a representative of Tempest, he even challenged Demon Lord Carrion to a test of strength. Although he tends to become overconfident and anxious in certain situations due to his outstanding combat sense, he seems to prioritize enjoying the battle nonetheless. On the other hand, Benimaru has a reliable intellect that can calmly assess the military situation and make accurate judgments at crucial moments. He has become such a formidable presence that even Guy has no complaints about his combat sense. Now, let's introduce their strengths. First, let's start with Guy. Guy is one of the few demon lords who can fight on equal terms with Milim. The symbol of his strength is undoubtedly his ultimate skill, Lord of Pride, Lucifer. Lord of Pride can copy any skill or ability that he has seen once and can adjust it for his own use. This is a cheat skill that can even copy ultimate abilities. Next, let's talk about Benimaru. Benimaru is one of the 12 lordly guardians of the awakened demon lords, who received the souls of 100,000 people from Rimuru and evolved into an awakened demon lord. He is also one of Rimuru's top 3 combatants. He possesses the ultimate skill Lord of Shimmering Flame Amaterasu, which allows him to use a sword made of flames for the strongest attack while also having complete defense. Although it may seem that there is no connection between the strength of monsters and demons so far, by looking at other characters, we can quickly confirm their relationship. Raine and Soei. Soei seems to belong to the same lineage as Raine, the original blue demon, if we talk about the primordial demons. Just as Raine seems to be comfortable under Guy's command, Soei seems to be enjoying his position as Flare Lord Benimaru's shadow, and behaving quite freely every day. However, Raine's loyalty to Guy is genuine, and he shows proper respect to him. In Soei's case, that respect seems to be directed towards Rimuru rather than Benimaru, but Soei may be doing reckless things behind his master's back, which is typical for blue demons. Blue demons are a rare type of demon that can negotiate, and they seem to have a serious and skillful personality. But they also tend to be sly and enjoy things in their own way. Raine is a skilled individual who can handle cooking and painting perfectly. However, she once used her painting to negotiate with Diablo, and was caught doing something wicked. Similarly, Soei had secretly extended the hot spring pipes to his house, and enjoyed a hot spring all by himself. They seem to have very similar personalities. Finally, let's take a look at their strength. Raine can create clones with her technique called Mist. Even if her clones are attacked, her main body will not be damaged, and she can use the powerful magic attack called Nuclear Magic even with the clone's body. Since she has evolved further, she is likely to have acquired new skills. Next is Soei. Soei possesses the ultimate gift Lord of Moonshade Tsukuyomi, and has the ability called Eye of the Moon, which specializes in espionage and assassination. Furthermore, he can also handle Parallel Existence, which Velgrind used, and each of his clones created with Parallel Existence can use Eye of the Moon. It is a perfect skill for Soei's espionage activities. Ultima and Shion. Ultima, the original purple, is likely to search for an escape route and retaliate against the enemy while following Rimuru orders. The purple, who is inherently dangerous, is known as the epitome of cruelty and brutality, and even Luminous warned Rimuru not to underestimate her. On the other hand, Shion, who was thought to be just a secretary, incorporated devilish elements during her resurrection, and her breakdown was accelerated. The 3 prisoners from the Falmus Kingdom who appeared in the anime were not subjected to physical pain, but Shion practiced cooking human sashimi by peeling off their skin and flesh without killing them. When they reached their limit, they were given a recovery potion and returned to normal, and she was repeating the training from the beginning until they broke their spirit. She is certainly enthusiastic about cooking research, isn't she? Furthermore, her army, Yomigaeri, has undergone intense training in the underground labyrinth, where she can revive even if she dies, and has undergone rapid evolution. Ultima is said to have the most potential among the primordials. In fact, it has been confirmed that Ultima has the potential to reach even greater heights, as she can handle various tasks perfectly with her high sense, but also has hidden potential. In addition, there is a depiction of some of her powers being restricted in the meeting with Rimuru in Volume 16 of the novel. Furthermore, Ultima's ultimate skill, Lord of Deathly Poison Samael, is based on the ability to generate poison that causes appropriate changes in the state of all living things by detecting their weaknesses. She can also extract knowledge and thoughts from an opponent's mind, thereby playing the role of an intelligence officer who can see through the enemy's strategy, as well as having destructive power. It's an ability that even Shion, who is in charge of torture, would desire. Additionally, Shion has a mysterious fighting sense, but her acquisition of ultimate skill is restricted by CL, which ultimately results in a situation similar to Ultima's. Testarossa and Hakuro Shuna. Testarossa is an elegant and pristine white demon who is mysteriously skilled at brewing tea. Her gestures often captivate many people. She has a high level of ability and can flawlessly recite laws and point out their flaws, but occasionally shows a fierce personality. Although Diablo would not allow it, she is suitable as a secretary. When it comes to demons associated with white, Hakuro is the first to come to mind. His refined swordsmanship from years of experience is of surprisingly high level of skill, while also having a side that wants to become a sushi chef. Even after giving birth and weakening, he is still a reliable presence. In addition to Hakuro, there is another character in Tempest that evokes the image of white, and that is Shuna. Her name contains the kanji for Shuiro, which evokes the image of red in Japanese, but it is also a color associated with shrines. As a shrine maiden princess, Shuna wears a white kimono, so white would be a good image color for her. Her cooking and hospitality skills are top-notch, and even Luminous looks forward to her cooking. Like Testarossa, Shion is unlikely to give up her position as Rimuru's secretary, but in reality, Shuna is more reliable. They both occasionally show a fierce side, too. From these, the white lineage is elegant and dependable, and in common with those who fall under this category, we might say that they are scary when angry. Carrera and Geld. Carrera, the original yellow, appears to be a beautiful woman with dazzling blonde hair and blue eyes. However, her true nature is that of a devil who unleashes nuclear magic at will. Originally, Carrera was based near El Dorado, the Golden City ruled by Demon Lord Leon Cromwell, which was separated from the continent where Tempest existed. She emerged from the Hellgate, a dimensional hole connecting the spiritual world and the material world, that appeared there and repeatedly engaged in annoying behavior, such as whimsically unleashing nuclear magic toward El Dorado. On the other hand, in Tempest, she serves as the Chief Justice of the Judiciary. While she is serious about her work, she is also in a department that is in conflict with Ultima, the Prosecutor General of the Prosecutor's Office. As a result, she often quarrels and is punished by Diablo. Carrera's ultimate skill, Lord of Destruction Abaddon, can be said to be the strongest attack magic that pierces even the distortion field, which can be called the strongest defense barrier. Additionally, she can use the nuclear magic Gravity Collapse, which can create an artificial black hole that can crush and annihilate enemies. This magic boasts the destructive power of the highest class among nuclear magic. Geld may be the character that comes to mind when we think about yellow demons. Originally, Geld was in a hostile relationship with Tempest. Now, he is in charge of construction in Tempest and has become an indispensable presence as the leader of the orc elite group Yellow Numbers. His power is comparable to that of an awakened demon lord, and he has been chosen as the Barrier Lord. Furthermore, his ultimate gift, which he acquired after awakening and evolving, Lord of Gourmet Beelzebub, is extremely powerful. Lord of Gourmet is a skill specialized in defense, and Geld's defense power is extraordinary. In addition, it is possible for Geld himself to take damage from his subordinates, so virtually all of his subordinates boast defense power similar to Geld's. It is almost impossible to damage Geld's army without a powerful blow that overwhelms an awakened demon lord. Additionally, he has excellent abilities in architecture and construction, and he can quickly bring his subordinates together and complete road construction at an incredible speed. He also has a liking for children and is well liked for his gentle treatment of waiting children. Although Carrera and Geld are opposites in terms of composure, they share a common point in that they have something they cannot compromise on in terms of fighting as warriors. In addition, it seems unlikely that Kondo, who inherited Carrera's power, had a similar personality to Geld by chance and cannot be dismissed as a coincidence. Mizeri and Rigurd. Mizeri, the original green, like Raine, swears allegiance to Demon Lord Guy. Mizeri is hardworking and serious. She often gets frustrated with Raine's careless work, but seems to trust her. She also builds factions in human society and constantly collects information. Mizeri is the god worshipped by her group of believers, the Apostles of Vert, and can be summoned by summoning magic. While demons are often cold and have excellent thinking abilities, they are also combatants who may misjudge situations, especially in battle. However, Mizeri has particularly calm thinking abilities among the primordial demons. There are many unknown aspects of Mizeri's strength, but when summoned to the council to assassinate the representative members of the Western Council, she encountered Testarossa. At that time, Mizeri withdrew without fighting and without killing anyone. Therefore, it is considered that Mizeri's strength is below that of Testarossa, so it is reasonable to conclude that she is as strong as Raine. However, Mizeri, like Raine, has become an awakened thanks to Rimuru, so it seems unlikely that she has maid-level strength. Speaking of monsters that correspond to Mizeri's green, it would be the hobgoblins. Originally, they lived in the Great Jura Forest, afraid of the surrounding monsters, but since meeting Rimuru, they have grown day by day. Furthermore, by accumulating combat training with Hakuro and others, they have become one of the important military forces in Tempest. Here, let's introduce the leader of the hobgoblins who has led the group since the early stages, Rigurd. He is a hobgoblin who obtained the occupation of Goblin King and manages the administration of the capital, Rimuru. When they first met, he was a frail old man, but with a name, he evolved into a muscular giant. He is a capable man who can handle detailed domestic and diplomatic negotiations and is a reliable presence for Rimuru. He does not stand out in combat, but he is a powerful presence behind the scenes of Tempest and is likely to correspond to Mizeri, who supports Guy's faction from a hidden position. Diablo and Kurobe. Diablo, the embodiment of perversion, is a man who is completely devoted to Rimuru and has an unusual obsession with serving tea and taking care of Rimuru. He often uses his devilish cunning to get his way, even if Rimuru is annoyed with him. He has also reached a strange state where he tries not to become too strong as a pure battle mechanic and enjoys fighting for its own sake. Although all of the black lineage is strange, there are also beings among the monsters who share similar traits, such as Kurobe. In the world of Tensura, legend-grade equipment is generally treated as a national treasure and cannot be seen by ordinary people. God-grade equipment that exceeds that is given only to those who are very close to the Emperor in the powerful Eastern Empire, and is not even known to exist in normal circumstances. However, Kurobe has somehow become able to create God-grade equipment, and Rimourou's subordinates are now able to obtain God-grade equipment one after another. In addition, Kurobe has not allowed to appear on the cover of the manga at all and has become weird, shedding tears of blood and proposing ideas such as being reborn as a beautiful girl. His strong desire to appear on the cover seems to have fostered his excellent skills as a blacksmith. How was that? This time, we introduced the connection between monsters and the primordials. Although we did not conduct any analysis, there may be other monsters that give a sense of connection with the colors of the primordials. So please let us know if you notice anything. On this channel, we will continue to conduct research to enjoy Tensura. So please subscribe if you haven't already done it. See you in the next video!